When the clock struck midnight on New Year's Eve, Kandi Burruss celebrated with her kids, and from the photo she posted, everything looks sweet and wholesome, except she cropped someone out of the story, someone who was standing right there beside her. That same someone posted the full picture hours later with a caption that's making divorce lawyers nervous and fans absolutely unhinged. Mark this date, January 1st, 2026, because Todd Tucker just made a move suggesting this divorce might never actually be finalized. His New Year's post wasn't just family photos, it was a message, and when you see what he signed it with, you'll understand why Kandi's attorney probably spit out their champagne. Let me take you back to where this all started, because what's happening between these two right now is either the most amicable divorce in celebrity history or the most elaborate reconciliation scheme anyone has ever witnessed. November of 2025 brought the announcement that shocked the Real Housewives fan base when Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker announced they were calling it quits after 11 years of marriage. 2 kids together, a blended family that included Kandi's daughter Riley, Todd's daughter Kayla, and their 2 youngest, Ace and Blaze. This wasn't just another reality TV couple splitting up. This was a love story that had played out on camera for over a decade. A relationship that survived Mama Joyce's disapproval, business drama, and the constant pressure of living under public scrutiny. Kandi's exclusive statement kept things simple and professional, the kind of announcement that's been drafted and redrafted by legal teams who know every word will be picked apart. She confirmed the divorce, asked for privacy, and made clear this was the end of their chapter together. And that's when Todd's lawyers started talking. Through his legal counsel, Todd didn't just respond to the divorce petition, he went on the offensive, citing Kandi's work obligations as an obstacle to her being a full-time parent. His position became clear. If they couldn't reach a custody agreement, he was prepared to fight, not just for joint custody, but for primary physical custody of Ace and Blaze, along with final decision-making authority. He also questioned the validity of their prenuptial agreement, the same prenup that was filmed on Real Housewives of Atlanta, the same prenup that millions of viewers watched him reluctantly sign. This wasn't shaping up to be a friendly split. It was looking like a battle with court documents, custody disputes, and prenup challenges. The kind of divorce that gets messy, the kind that plays out in tabloids and courtrooms with lawyers billing by the hour, while every asset gets scrutinized. Kandi responded by filing an amended petition defending the prenup's legitimacy, stating she wanted joint physical and legal custody while maintaining primary custody of their 2 youngest children, and asking for the court documents to be sealed for privacy, for the kids, for dignity. And that's when something strange started happening. Thanksgiving arrived just days after the divorce filing, just days after the legal team started drawing battle lines. And instead of spending the holiday apart and establishing that new normal of separated parents with split custody schedules, they spent it together in one house, one family, at one Thanksgiving table. Todd wasn't in the family photo that Kandi posted, but he was there in the house with the kids celebrating like nothing had changed. Fans noticed, of course they noticed, and the comments started rolling in with questions, confusion, and hope. Because when you're in the middle of a contentious divorce, you don't typically share turkey and stuffing with the person whose prenup you're trying to invalidate. Blaze's 6th birthday came next, and despite everything happening in court, despite the lawyers and the filings and the custody arguments, Kandi and Todd reunited for the celebration together, co-parenting, showing up for their child like the divorce papers didn't exist. The internet started buzzing with speculation that maybe this wouldn't be as ugly as it seemed. Maybe they'd be mature about it. Maybe they'd become one of those rare celebrity couples who could separate with grace and put their children first. And that's when Kandi did an interview right before Christmas, where she made a joke that stopped everyone in their tracks. She actually laughed about divorce being on her Christmas list on camera, and then revealed her holiday plans, performing on Broadway in New York City with Todd and the kids coming to spend Christmas with her, all of them together. Let's pause here for a second, because this is where the narrative starts to fracture. This is where what's being said publicly starts to contradict what's happening in those court filings. Kandi's asking for privacy, wanting the divorce documents sealed, telling media outlets and fans to respect this difficult time for her family, positioning herself as someone who wants to handle this separation with discretion and maturity. But she's also doing interviews, multiple interviews, talking about the divorce, talking about Todd, talking about money and marriage and who makes more and who does what, posting on social media constantly, showing the world that she and Todd are still spending time together, still co-parenting, still functioning as a unit. And here's where it gets really interesting. Todd's not doing interviews, not going on podcasts or morning shows talking about his side, not controlling the narrative. Kandi has the platform, the Real Housewives connection, the PR machine, and she's using it. Christmas arrived, and just like she said, the entire family gathered in New York City. Kandi posted the photo that went viral. Todd, Kandi, Riley, and her boyfriend Kayla, Ace, Blaze, even their nanny Katrina Willis, a Grammy Award-winning songwriter who somehow ended up as the family nanny. But that's a whole nother story. Everyone posed in front of a Christmas tree, some wearing matching Hello Kitty outfits while others wore plaid, chaotic blended family energy captured in a photo that would be completely normal except for one detail. These two people are supposed to be getting divorced. The comments on that photo numbered in the thousands, some celebrating the co-parenting, others confused about why two people in the middle of a legal separation would spend every major holiday together, and a few observant ones started asking deeper questions. The strategy behind Kandi posting all of this became a topic of debate, because if Todd's lawyers are arguing that Kandi's work commitments prevent her from being a full-time parent, and Kandi's response is to very publicly show herself spending quality time with her kids during the holidays, that's not accidental, that's deliberate, that's building a case in the court of public opinion while the real case plays out behind closed doors. Todd posted the Christmas photo too, but his caption struck a different tone. Simple and straightforward about cherishing moments with family during Christmas, no ulterior motive visible, no hidden message, just a dad with his kids. New Year's Eve arrived as the last major holiday of this very strange season of togetherness despite divorce, and once again they were together. Not in Atlanta, not at home, but at an indoor water park living their best lives. Kandi, Todd, Ace, and Blaze ringing in 2026 as a family. Kandi posted first around 9:47 p.m. on New Year's Eve with a video of a balloon drop at the water park, photos with Ace and Blaze, and a festive hat that said Happy New Year. Her caption focused entirely on positivity and transformation and elevation. Big blessings for 2026, good vibes only, looking forward to accomplishing everything she set out to do. Notice anything missing from that post? Notice anyone not mentioned, not tagged, not acknowledged? Todd was there, right there at the same water park, celebrating the same New Year's Eve with the same kids. But in Kandi's version of the story, he doesn't exist. She cropped him out, not physically from the photos, but from the narrative, making her New Year's about her and her kids and her goals and her elevation. January 1st arrived, New Year's Day, and Todd Tucker posted. A carousel of images showed the family at the water park, sitting by the pool, doing a high ropes course, Ace and Blaze smiling, everyone together having the time of their lives. And then came the caption causing all the chaos. Happy New Year, here's my first scheme of 2026. Create and enjoy moments with family. The Tuckers. The Tuckers. Not the Tucker kids, not co-parenting goals, not Happy New Year from our family to yours. The Tuckers. Like there's still a unit, like the divorce filing never happened, like those court documents fighting over custody and prenups and decision-making authority are just paperwork that doesn't reflect reality. That word scheme appeared too, the same word he's used for years when talking about his goals and plans, playful and very much Todd's brand. But in this context, after everything that's happened in the last 6 weeks, that word hits different. The comment section on Todd's post exploded with over 2,500 responses, and the overwhelming majority said the same things. Fight for your family. Work it out. You two belong together. Keep everyone out of your business and fix this. People are emotionally invested, and these aren't casual fans. These are people who've watched Kandi and Todd's relationship develop over years of Real Housewives episodes. People who saw them fall in love on camera, who watched Todd propose, who saw the wedding, the babies, the businesses, the struggles with Mama Joyce, the triumphs, the arguments, the makeup sessions. This isn't just celebrity gossip to them, this feels personal. Because Kandi and Todd represented something. They were the couple that proved love could work even when circumstances were messy, even when family members didn't approve, even when the money dynamics were complicated. And now they're watching that relationship either fall apart in real time or come back together. The court documents say one thing, while the social media posts say something completely different. Legal filings are adversarial, about custody percentages and financial disclosures and who gets final say on medical decisions and education choices, about protecting assets and establishing boundaries and making sure everyone gets what they're entitled to. But the Instagram posts, the holiday gatherings, the water park adventures tell a story of two people who still function as a family, two people who can put their kids first, two people who maybe haven't figured out how to be married anymore, but also haven't figured out how to not be in each other's lives. Hours after Todd's New Year's Day post, Kandi returned to Instagram with a video message showing Ace and Blaze and asking them to say Happy New Year to her followers before talking about her intentions for 2026. Positive vibes, positive energy, elevation, transformation, a beautiful year ahead, wanting only good people around her with good energy who are on what she's on. Again, no mention of Todd, no acknowledgement of his post, no response to the fact that he just publicly referred to them as the Tuckers while their lawyers argue about custody schedules. Let's break down what might actually be happening here. A mature, amicable divorce where two adults have decided they're better as co-parents than spouses, and they're committed to maintaining a positive relationship for their children could explain everything. They're spending holidays together because it makes the transition easier for Ace and Blaze, posting about it because they want fans to know divorce doesn't have to be ugly, with the court stuff being just logistics while the feelings are settled. But if that's the case, Todd questioning the prenup doesn't fit. Neither does fighting for primary custody. Neither does Kandi's lawyers asking for documents to be sealed. That doesn't sound like an amicable split where everyone agrees. Strategic positioning offers another explanation. Kandi building a public narrative that she's a devoted mother who prioritizes her children and maintains a healthy co-parenting relationship would make sense because she knows Todd's legal team is arguing that her work commitments interfere with parenting, which means every photo of her with the kids, every holiday celebration she attends, every post about family time becomes evidence proving she can do both. That she can be a Broadway star and a present mother, that she can run businesses and still show up for birthdays and New Year's Eve. Todd's posts in this scenario are his own form of evidence too. Look at me being a present father. Look at me creating memories with my children. Look at how family matters to me. If this goes to court and custody becomes a real battle, both of them will have a social media trail showing devoted parenthood. Reconciliation remains possible too. The divorce filing could have been a wake-up call, a moment of crisis forcing them both to reevaluate what they want, and now spending all this time together, seeing each other as parents rather than spouses, remembering why they fell in love in the first place, they might be realizing they don't actually want this divorce. Todd's caption, "The Tuckers," might not be wishful thinking, but a declaration that they're still a family and they're going to stay a family. But if they're reconciling, why not just say that? Why continue with legal proceedings? Why not withdraw the divorce petition and release a statement saying they've decided to work on their marriage? Unless they're not ready to make that announcement yet, unless they're testing the waters, seeing if they can coexist peacefully before committing to trying again, using the holidays as a trial run for what reconciliation might look like. Real life usually falls somewhere in between all these scenarios. Maybe Kandi and Todd haven't figured out what they want yet. Maybe they're genuinely separated and moving toward divorce, but also genuinely love their kids and want to minimize trauma. Maybe they still care about each other even if they can't be married. Maybe the legal stuff is contentious because money and custody always get contentious even between people who don't hate each other. Maybe Todd's caption, "The Tuckers," is just him holding on to something familiar. A name, an identity, a version of his family that he's not ready to let go of even if the legal reality moves in a different direction. Or maybe this is the opening move in the greatest comeback story in Real Housewives history. Think about it. Kandi and Todd's entire relationship has played out on television. Their first meeting on set, their courtship, Todd struggles to be accepted by Mama Joyce, the prenup negotiations that became a whole storyline, the wedding, the fertility journey, the births of Ace and Blaze, the business ventures, everything documented. And now the divorce gets documented too, not just in tabloids and court filings, but on their own social media, where they're controlling the narrative, showing the world what this looks like. If they do reconcile, if this divorce gets called off and they renew their vows or release a statement saying they've worked through their issues, that becomes part of the story too. That becomes a redemption arc, a testimony, proof that love can survive even the darkest moments, evidence that marriage is worth fighting for, a message to everyone watching that giving up isn't the only option. And in the world of reality television where storylines drive ratings and personal drama translates to viewer engagement, a reconciliation after a public divorce filing would be gold. Absolute gold. That might sound cynical, but these are people who've built careers on sharing their lives with cameras, people who understand the value of a compelling narrative, people who know the audience is invested in their happiness. Fans certainly seem to think reconciliation is possible, with comments on Todd's New Year's post reading like a prayer circle. People literally rooting for this marriage, begging Todd to fight for Kandi, encouraging them both to work it out, reminding them that what they have is rare and special and worth saving. One commenter wrote about fighting for family because there's nothing out there but trouble, and he's got a good woman. Another said they need to talk through it, cry through it, pray through it, and figure it out together. The support is overwhelming, and it's not just blind optimism, it's people who've watched this couple navigate real challenges, who've seen them overcome obstacles that would have ended other relationships, who believe that if anyone can come back from this, it's Kandi and Todd. But there's another side to this story, a quieter narrative happening in the background while everyone focuses on Instagram posts and holiday photos. People are asking why Kandi keeps posting if she wants privacy, why she's doing interviews about the divorce while simultaneously asking people to respect her family's difficult time, why every few days there's a new photo or video showing her and Todd together, happy, functioning like nothing's wrong. One observer pointed out that Todd's not the one doing all this posting, not doing interviews, not creating a media narrative. He posted on Christmas and New Year's. That's it. Meanwhile, Kandi's on podcasts, doing video interviews, talking about marriage and money and relationships, going on shows and discussing making more money than her husband, framing herself as the financially successful one, the boss, the one in control. If you're fighting about a prenup and custody and trying to protect assets, why would you go on public platforms and talk about how much more money you make than your spouse? That's not seeking privacy. That's making a statement. Maybe the statement is that Kandi wants the world to know she doesn't need Todd financially, that she's self-sufficient, that whatever happens with the prenup or settlement, she'll be fine because she's Kandi Burruss, Grammy-winning songwriter, reality TV star, Broadway performer, business owner with her own empire. Or maybe the statement is about power dynamics, about who controls the narrative, about making sure that when people think about this divorce, they think about it from her perspective. She has the platform, she has the fans who've been following for years. She's the voice they trust. So if she says she wants privacy while also sharing her version of events, most people accept that without questioning the contradiction. Todd doesn't have the same platform. He's not the Real Housewife, he's the husband, and in the ecosystem of reality television, that means less power, less control, less ability to shape how the audience perceives what's happening. Except for one thing, he has the truth of his presence. He keeps showing up at Thanksgiving, at birthdays, at Christmas, at New Year's. He's not doing interviews or creating elaborate social media narratives. He's just being there, being a father, being part of the family, and maybe that speaks louder than any carefully crafted caption or media appearance. When he signed that New Year's post, The Tuckers, he wasn't making an argument or defending himself or trying to win public opinion. He was stating a fact. As far as he's concerned, they're still the Tuckers, still a family, still connected in ways that go beyond whatever's happening in the courts. That's either incredibly romantic or incredibly naive, depending on how this story ends. 6 weeks into this divorce now, 42 days of legal maneuvering and holiday gatherings and social media posts that contradict court filings, 42 days of fans hoping for reconciliation while lawyers prepare for battle. They've already proved they can co-parent effectively. That's not the question anymore. The real question is whether they can figure out what they actually want from each other and from this relationship. Do they want to stay married? Do they want to be divorced? Do they want to exist in this strange in-between space where they're legally separated but functionally still operating as a family unit? Because that in-between space isn't sustainable. At some point, decisions have to be made. Custody has to be formalized. Assets have to be divided. The prenup has to be either enforced or challenged in court. Lawyers can't keep billing hours for a divorce that might not actually happen. Fans can't stay in emotional limbo forever either, hoping for a fairy tale ending while watching two people navigate the very real pain of a relationship falling apart. Todd's first scheme of 2026 is to create and enjoy moments with family. That's what he said, that's what he's doing. But the bigger scheme, the one everyone's trying to figure out, is whether those family moments are a goodbye or a fresh start. He might be savoring what's left before everything changes, or he might be laying the foundation for a reconciliation that starts with remembering why they became the Tuckers in the first place. Only Kandi and Todd know the answer to that, and maybe if we're being honest, they don't even know yet. Maybe they're figuring it out in real time. One holiday at a time, one Instagram post at a time, one moment with their kids at a time. What we do know is this: whatever happens next, it's going to be documented and analyzed and discussed by fans and critics and reality TV enthusiasts who've been following this love story for over a decade. And when Todd Tucker signed that New Year's Day post, The Tuckers, he made sure the whole world was watching to see what comes next.